Hello, welcome back. I'm Kris. I just did a different video and I realized that there was an order. So I'm doing them in order and I will drop this one first. I just did Was Sherman a War Criminal, which will drop later. Got a bug bite, I think. What the hell is that? I don't know. So anyways, this is from toAtun-Shei Films Confederate DESTROYS Yankee with Facts and Logic. I haven't seen this. I know there's some reactions to him. He's a northerner who moved to the south, I believe. Just pointing that out. Video.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to CHECKMATE, LINCOLNITES.
He plays both roles, by the way.
The program where we destroy the pernicious lies of Republicans, carpetbaggers, Yankees, scallywags, and delineators of the Sable character, using facts and logic. My guest today is the man who runs the lion-thieving, Freedmen's Bureau-loving YouTube channel, toAtun-Shei Films. Here he is, the dollar store Jamie Lannister himself. Sir, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, sir, I have watched your videos about the War of Northern Aggression, and I must say, I did not care for them. Not a whit.
Okay.
Your whole argument about the slavery part of the Confederacy is false. But coming from a Yankee like you, it's not surprising. Less than 3% of all Southerners owned slaves. The war itself was over taxes. Look at the Corwin Amendment, for example. The North kept pushing taxes on us Southerners, so we pushed back. You keep pushing your Yankee propaganda like it's real. It was all about the right to be a sovereign nation. LOL. You're just a typical soy boy.
Okay, so there's a lot to unpack there. First of all, it was more like 30% of Southerners who owned slaves. And just out of curiosity, sir, did you own slaves back then?
Oh, yes. I most certainly did.
Oh, you're a monster.
LOL, look at this soy boy. Think slavery is wrong.
So you mentioned the Corwin Amendment. I'm glad you did. That was basically the federal government's last-ditch attempt to avoid the Civil War. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Corwin Amendment was this proposed amendment to the Constitution that basically would have guaranteed the southern states right to own slaves. I mean, potentially forever. So your implication would be that if the war was really about slavery, then why didn't the southern states just immediately go along with and ratify the Corwin Amendment? But you're forgetting that a big cause of the Civil War, and certainly the events leading up to the Civil War, were not about preserving slavery, but expanding it. I mean, you take the Missouri Compromise, for instance. And Lincoln's whole position when he took office wasn't to abolish slavery, it was to contain it. And this went directly against the Confederacy's ambitions. They not only wanted to expand slavery to the territories, they wanted to conquer Cuba and Mexico and make those into slave states as well. But you won't really hear that from people who endorse the lost cause myth.
The USA had slavery for 89 years. The Confederacy only had slavery for 4 years. When the Civil War was over, the Union still had slaves. There is your myth.
The United States was founded on the principles of liberal democracy. The Confederacy was founded to preserve and expand the institution of slavery. And for those 89 years, where do you think most of the slaves lived? I can tell you it sure as shit wasn't Ohio or Massachusetts.
Aha! Still waiting for you to address your own state's, Massachusetts' racism. Remember how they used emancipation to chase the blacks out of the state, knocking the black population from 5% to 0.8%?
That's a bullshit argument, but I'll bite. Did I ever deny that there was racism up north? Everybody knows that Boston is the racist San Francisco. I made 2 whole videos about King Philip's War and talked all about how New England was basically founded on Native American genocide.
Your time is coming. You preening, goody two-shoes New Englanders still celebrate your murderous generals like Nathaniel Lyon. Oh, just wait until the sons of Confederate veterans invades New England and treats his grave the way it merits. And we won't be using crayons.
Oh, okay, well, I can guarantee you that not one person in 100 up north knows who the fuck Nathaniel Lyon was.
No clue.
And I invite the sons of Confederate veterans to invade New England. That would just be really funny.
Let's move on. You have dared to criticize the statues of our brave and noble Confederate men, Davis, Beauregard, and of course, General Lee. You have called these statues racist, white supremacist. This is misrepresenting what these statues mean. They are monuments to key moments in history, like the Battle of Liberty Place. Tearing them down is no different from burning a history book. If we had to remove every statue that offended someone, well, then we would have no more statues. And the term white supremacy is not a racist one either. White supremacy does not mean black inferiority, just the same way that being proud of your black heritage does not mean you dislike white heritage. What a terrible direction the left wing has started to head these last decades. Complete denial of human rights.
Why don't you run that little theory by a black person and get back to me?
Everybody feels their group to be superior. Liberals feel superior to conservatives. Hip-hop feels superior to black metal. Superiority is a widely held belief among all humanity. But all of a sudden, when it says your nationality is superior, then it's a problem. Blacks feel superior, that's why they hang out with other blacks. Mexicans feel superior, that's why they hang out with other Mexicans. But whites are not allowed to feel superior. That's a denial of human rights. Superiority is human nature.
Hey, can I see your gun?
Oh, certainly.
Cool, thanks.
Nice.
If you liked the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell so you get notification of future uploads. Bye!
Okay, so that got weird. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there was, the North did have slaves. I think New York at one time had over 10,000. So it's not like it was, and I understand people will say it was about states' rights because the North did have slaves. Okay, it's very true. But every one of the Southern secession states all said slavery was integral to their state's right. That was the issue. And one of them said, was it Hood? He said something to the effect of the war was fought over slavery. He said it to slaves. I don't remember now. I could be making it up. I have no idea. Anyways, I'm going to end this here. And I think I'm going to do a couple more of these and we'll see how it is. Because the Sherman one was pretty good. This one was not the same. So, but we'll see. Till the next video, have a good day, have a good night. Like and subscribe, or I'll punch you in the throat.